Welcome back to our devotion on God's wisdom in the book of Proverbs. As James says, if we lack wisdom, we should ask God because he gives wisdom generously. But as we have read in Proverbs, he also expects us to search for it as if we were searching for gold and jewels. Hi, I'm Tracy with KOGmissions.com and welcome to Simple Bible Truth. I hope to encourage you in your faith and inspire you to seek truth, to love God, and to obey Jesus. Proverbs 4 continues speaking to a child, and it's a very good model to follow for any parent. And as God's children, we should hear him speaking to us as well in regard to what is written. Listen, children, to a father's instruction and pay attention so that you may gain discernment, because I hereby give you good instruction. Do not forsake my teaching. So are you giving your children good instruction if you have children? Do your teachings help them to gain discernment? As God's children, are we paying attention to our Father and listening to his instruction? Do we forsake his teachings? Or do we gain discernment because we are embracing his teachings? When I was a son to my father, a tender, only child before my mother, he taught me and said to me, "Let your heart lay hold of my words. Keep my commands so that you will live. Acquire wisdom, acquire understanding. Do not forget and do not turn aside from the words I speak. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will guard you." We must prepare our hearts to receive God's commands so that we can live. And we must understand that they are commands, not suggestions, if we want to live. We are told to acquire wisdom and acquire understanding. This is an action that we must take. It is up to us. God gives us free will to decide if we want to be wise or if we want to be a fool. He reminds us to not forget his words or turn aside from his words. Do not turn away from God's wisdom. Wisdom protects us. We must love God's wisdom if we say that we love God. And if we love God, we will obey him. Wisdom is supreme, so acquire wisdom. And whatever you acquire, acquire understanding. Wisdom and understanding go hand in hand. We need to obtain knowledge and understanding, and this comes from reading the Bible and hearing God's words, as well as the experiences that God allows into our lives. Wisdom then comes when we accumulate understanding and knowledge. Wisdom is built on knowledge. You cannot be wise without being knowledgeable. Knowledge can give you power, but wisdom only comes when you apply that knowledge. And of course, we're talking about biblical wisdom and understanding and knowledge, not worldly knowledge and wisdom. As we read in chapter 1, fearing God is the beginning of wisdom. We must know who God is, because when we do, we will then know that we must fear him. Philippians 2:12 through 13 tells us, "Dear friends, just as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but even more in my absence, continue working out your salvation with fear and trembling." Esteem her, wisdom that is, highly, and she will exalt you. She will honor you if you embrace her. She will place a fair garland on your head. She will bestow a beautiful crown on you. Listen, my child, accept my words so that the years of your life will be many. I hereby guide you in the way of wisdom, and I lead you in the upright paths. When you walk your steps, you will not be hampered. And when you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to instruction. Do not let go of it. Protect it because it is your life. We must value wisdom. And when we do, we will be guided by it. Hold on to it. Don't let it go. Protect it like you do your life because it is your life. Life now and in the age to come. Do not enter the path of the wicked or walk on the way of those who are evil. Avoid it. Do not go on it. Turn away from it and go on, for they cannot sleep unless they cause harm. They are robbed of sleep until they make someone stumble. Indeed, they have eaten bread and gained from wickedness, and drink the wine obtained from violence. We must tell our children not to hang out with wicked people. Do not enter their paths, and we need to tell them to avoid those kind of people. Tell them to turn away from them because they will cause them to stumble. And not only the children, we should take that same advice. But the path of the righteous is like the bright morning light, growing brighter and brighter until full day. The way of the wicked is like gloomy darkness. They do not know what they stumble over. We see here that there are two paths: the path of the wicked, those who are opposed of God, and the path of the righteous, those who have chosen to walk in obedience to our Father and his Messiah. One path is light and the other is dark. One path leads to life and the other to death. My child, pay attention to my words. Listen attentively to my sayings. Do not let them depart from your sight. Guard them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and healing to one's entire body. We must be attentive and pay attention to every word that God has given us and to not let them out of our sight. This is clearly something that we must choose to do. We must choose the path we will walk on, and we choose whether we will listen to him or not. Guard your heart with all vigilance, for from it are the sources of life. Remove perverse speech from your mouth. Keep devious talk from your lips. Again, we must make the choice to guard our heart. And just as important, we must remove perverse speech from our mouth and devious talk from our lips. As we know, our tongue reveals what is in our heart. Luke 6:45 says that the good person out of the good treasury of his heart produces good, and the evil person out of his evil treasury produces evil. For his mouth speaks from that what fills his heart. Let your eyes look directly in front of you, and let your gaze look straight before you. Make the path for your feet level, so that all your ways may be established. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Turn yourself away from evil. These last three verses give us simple guidance. God's knowledge is set right before us, and it is up to us to apply it and be wise. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Make a level path for yourself by obeying God. And don't veer to the right or the left. Stay on the narrow path. Then all your ways will be established. And this is what Paul meant when he told us to finish the race so that we could receive the prize, our inheritance that Jesus made possible for us. Next time, we're going to look at wisdom in chapter 5. And please subscribe and click the bell so you won't miss the next devotion. Hope to see you again soon. And until then, keep seeking truth, loving God, and obeying Jesus.